Welcome to another £5 dinner challenge, where we try to feed the whole family for just under £5. Today, we're making steak dinner for two with a bit of caramelized onions and some extra crunchy salad. Let's do it. First, we prepare the iceberg lettuce. We remove the very wilted and ugly outer leaves, and we slice this in half. Now, to make this extra crunchy, all we need to do to put this in salted ice water. We add a generous dash of salt. This will firm up the iceberg lettuce and make it extra crunchy when we slice it. This goes into the fridge while we prep the steak. Now, realistically, you're not gonna get two steaks for under £5. But today, we have some 5% beef mince. If you treat it right, give it a bit of browning, it'll taste equally good. To maintain the shape, we very carefully remove the packaging and we season this side with salt generously and pepper. Now, smoking hot pan. To avoid splashing when this thing goes in, we're gonna oil this mince or the steak right here. Now that the pan is hot, the mince goes in one go. Now, we press to maximize the surface area that is in contact with the very, very hot pan. This is what's going to cause the Maillard reaction, browning, protein reacting to high heat. That's what's going to make the steak or the mince taste meatier, taste beefier. This will also help the mince maintain its shape. We season the other side. While that's searing, we're going to prep some onions to caramelize with the beef fat later. We cut them in half and we slice them crosswise, quite thin. Before we turn, we add a bit more oil. Flip it away from you to avoid splashing, basically. This is beautiful browning. That's what's gonna make it taste meaty. Now, just because this is discounted beef mince and we're cooking it well done, it doesn't mean we're gonna bring it all the way to boiling point. So we probe, and you want the core temperature to get to around 74 degrees Celsius. That's when you take it out. All right, perfect. Take our steak to rest carefully on the side. Onions go in to mop up all the beefy goodness. And once again, we salt to help the onions release their liquids, and that will deglass the pan and mop up all the burn bits at the bottom. Pepper. Now, the steam you're seeing, that's the water content of the onions evaporating. That will bring with them the harshness and the acidity, and that will concentrate the sweetness of the onions. And once the water content's mostly evaporated, the residual sugar of the onions would start to brown, caramelizing them, giving them complexity of flavor. Normally you could do this at low heat, but to cheat a bit, I like to do it at very high heat. And whenever the bottom starts to burn, I'll add a dash of water to deglass the pan, to mop up more flavors. But if this is your first time doing it, do it at medium-high, medium heat. It'll take a bit longer, but it'll be a bit more fail-proof. Now, once it starts to burn a tiny bit, you just drizzle a bit of water, mop up the fond, and you continue. Once you've achieved the consistency you like, stove off, and we slice our salad, and we can plate. Very simple. Cut them into thin strips. We alternate. Dress it however you like. For me, I just like a tiny bit of salt, generous drizzle of olive oil, and we can plate. Well, first, carve our steak. And this is a very generous portion for one. Onto a warm plate. Fan this out a tiny bit. And to that, add some beautifully caramelized onions on top. That's perfect. Some beautiful crunchy iceberg lettuce salad. And there you have it. Steak dinner for two for just under £5. This is beef mince steak with beef fat caramelized onions and crunchy salad. I really hope you enjoy.